Hey everyone, welcome back to episode 6 of Nerd Her Show. I'm Rich.
I'm Nick.
Again, we're from the Over Beer channel. In today's segment, we are doing Stream It, Pitch It, and Play It. So last time you had me pitch it before we streamed it, so if you want to keep that going, we can go ahead and we'll just switch the name up. We'll call it Pitch It, Stream It, Play It. Doesn't have the same ring to it.
I like it the other way, but we're still going to start with this.
Alright.
So for those who don't know, the Pitch It section, I guess like every
2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks we do this one. Basically, one of us gives the other a title and a genre. So, and then the other person has to create like a whole thing around it. It can be a movie or really it could be whatever. But the last time we did this, you gave me the title Steam and said that it was a horror.
I did.
And so I went the movie route for Steam.
Okay.
And I've got a whole thing here. So
great.
I've got a plot.
Okay.
Basically, the movie opens and a Middle Eastern country, haven't decided what, maybe, like Iraq or something like that. I didn't want to offend any of our Iraqi viewers. You never know. A Middle Eastern country is illegally and secretly testing nuclear weapons out on the ocean.
Okay.
And it just so happens they're testing these atomic explosions just over the location of the Titanic disaster. Okay.
Interesting. Okay.
The atomic energy causes the victims of the Titanic to raise from the dead, and the extreme heat from the nuclear explosions causes the souls to travel trapped in the steam from the ocean. Okay. The souls of the Titanic head back to America to exact revenge on the descendants of the Titanic survivors that abandoned them. Our main character is Jack, a 30-something great-grandson of the captain of the Titanic, making him the prime target of the victims of the steam. Now living in a sleepy upstate New York town, Jack must both stop the appearance, save the town, before everything falls into disarray. Will he be able to survive and save the town? Wait and see. So I kind of view this more as, I went back and forth. Should it be like a horror comedy? Because it is kind of a ridiculous premise, right? The Titanic survivors coming back for revenge on the captain's family. But I kind of want it to be a little bit more serious. Like one of those great horror comedies that is definitely more horror, a little bit of comedy.
Touch of humor.
Yeah, just a little bit of humor. It's got to be a little bit tongue-in-cheek just from the basic setup of it. But I kind of viewed it as, you said Steam, and I instantly thought of The Fog, the Carpenter movie, or The Mist, the Frank Darabont film based on Stephen King's short story or whatever. But, so that's kind of the vibe that I wanted to capture with this. Some directors, last week you gave me some options, so I'm going to give you some options. Some directors that came to mind, I've been waiting, and it might not ever happen, but one director that I would love to see get another chance to do a big property, and I would want this to be a big film, is Joe Dante as one choice. I have Sam Raimi. You obviously know that this is an environment, the horror comedy that he can handle. And I also I wanted one up-and-comer. This is a guy who his name gets thrown into every director opening, and he hasn't been chosen for any of them. And that's Joe Cornish, the director of Attack of the Block.
Yes.
So one of the three of them is in the running for you to choose. For the cast, I went with the Marvel Chris's to play Jack. So we have Chris Pratt, Chris Hemsworth, and Chris Evans. These are all guys who I think they have a leading man chemistry, but they all can also deliver kind of that tongue-in-cheek horror vibe. Some of them haven't displayed it too much recently. Like Chris Hemsworth showed some comedy chops, I guess, in the Vacation reboot. Chris Evans has done funny roles.
Yeah.
It's been a while. It's been a while. And then obviously Chris Pratt can do it all. And I came up with the tagline for the movie. Of course, one of the classic lines in Titanic is, you think of like full steam ahead. So I said, full steam, you're dead. So got the tagline for the movie.
Sold. We're making the screen.
We're making it.
Done.
Steam.
Put it on the poster. Make the poster. I can see it now.
Full steam, you're dead. So, directors and cast.
Now, did you have a writer or no?
I didn't come up with the writer for the movie.
I was just curious.
The thing is, those 3 directors that I chose, most of the time, traditionally, they have a hand in writing the movies they direct, so I thought they would kind of do both.
For your director, I'm going to go with Joe Dante, just because I want him to do something else again. I recently saw The Howling for the first time.
Oh, yes.
And I want him to do
It'd be great to see
something.
him have a high profile.
Yeah.
Joe Dante is, he was huge in the 80s. Obviously, the Gremlins films, The Howling, like you said. Inner Space, another one that he did. He's kind of, he made, The Hole semi-recently. Yeah. But it's been a while for Joe Dante. And then I think that, he's definitely one that I would have envisioned for this
I feel like Sam Raimi would take it a little too into the slapstick comedic. And I love Sam Raimi. I love Army of Darkness, Evil Dead 2, Drag Me to Hell. But I feel like he would go a little too far into what sounds like you're going for. But Joe Cornish would be great. But of those, I would go with Joe Dante just because I really want him to kind of reclaim something. And for your leading man, it's tough. That's a tough choice. I'm going to go with Chris Evans.
Nice. That's who I kind of envisioned too. Well, go ahead. Why would you choose Chris Evans?
Well, I haven't seen Hemsworth in much. I didn't see Vacation. I avoided that like the plague. I liked him in Thor. His humor in that was a little too much for me sometimes, at least in the first one. And Pratt's good, but again, similar to Raimi, I feel like he's could be a little too far sometimes with like his quips and like kind of his shtick and all that stuff. And I love Chris Pratt.
Yeah.
But like I said, Chris Evans has done comedy in the past, and he's also tackled like some really serious stuff. I haven't seen as much of the serious stuff from Chris Pratt as I have Chris Evans, so I'd kind of go with him. I think more so.
Yeah. Yeah, for me, I think Chris Evans, like we said, early on, he's really, the first thing he did was not another teen movie, so very comedic, like spoofy movie. He's, comedic turns obviously as the Human Torch in those Fantastic Four movies. Pretty funny small role in Scott Pilgrim. Yeah. And then lately we've seen him in, the leader of the Avengers, and then such ferocity in a movie like Snowpiercer. Yeah. So he really can do it all. I think that he would be interested in a movie like this. So that's Steam, and you would greenlight.
Based on that tagline alone, like I'm in. Like I'm like the studio producer in Ed Wood, where he's like, just pick. We got 3 weeks to shoot this. This is the tagline. It's on the poster. We're going. Shoot it. Move.
Nice. All right. Good.
So what am I pitching to you in 2 weeks?
All right. So the genre is crime.
Okay.
And the title is The Burrows.
The Burrows.
So, in just a couple weeks, Rich will be back, and he'll pitch me a crime project called The Burrows, and stay tuned for that. But if you liked my idea for Steam, let us know what you thought about that. What would you have done for Steam? That's what came to mind for me. So that was Stream It.
Yeah, that was Pitch It.
That was Pitch It.
This is going to be Stream It. We really should do this.
We really should do them in order.
So now we're going to do Stream It. You've been talking kind of a lot this week. Do you want me to?
Yeah, take it away.
Okay. So for this week's Stream It, you gave me Boxtrolls. Now you haven't seen Boxtrolls.
I have not seen Boxtrolls.
So I actually watched it right before we shot this. Slacking a little bit, but I watched it.
Okay.
I got it in.
All right.
I like it. I don't like it as much as their previous films, Coraline and Paranorman. But it's good. It's very weird. The animation's gorgeous. I kind of I dig kind of the weirdness of it, and it just something, I don't know if it's the pacing of it, but something just didn't quite click throughout. But overall, it's enjoyable. It's worth checking out. It's worth your time. But again, don't expect a Paranorman or a Coraline, but it's definitely worth seeing.
All right. So again, both options that everything that we talk about, we choose Netflix.
Yeah.
For now,
sorry, I should have.
For now, we're going to stick with Netflix. So watch Boxtrolls. You give it a recommend?
Yeah, I give it a recommend. It's on Netflix streaming right now. You can go check it out. Again, gorgeously animated. It's a lot of fun. Kind of twisted, kind of dark, but worth your time.
Cool. That's. I'm gonna check it out. It's a movie I've wanted to see. I'm a fan of Leica. That's it, right? Leica.
Leica, whatever.
Again, they did Paranormal Coraline. So if you like those type of films, check it out. You gave me last week another consecutive horror movie in a row, but we were in that month.
We'll see what you gave me
today. Which is the Babadook. Which is a horror movie from just last year, right?
Yeah.
And this movie, I should have looked up the director. I forget. It's a woman.
Yeah, it's a female director,
which is pretty awesome. This movie got a lot of acclaim in the festival circuit. It got some buzz, around its release, and a lot of people that I respect. I think I talked about when you told me about this movie. I had just read that day somebody listed it as the best horror movie of the 2010s or whatever. So I was really excited to watch it, and I did, and kind of underwhelmed by the Babadook.
Okay, that's fair.
I think part of my basically this movie overall, without spoiling anything, is again, it's a horror movie. A mother and a son. She reads a story, a creepy story.
This pop-up book appears on her doorstep, right? It just sort of appears on her doorstep, doesn't it, or something?
The kid just kind of gets it, and then later she destroys it and it ends up on the doorstep again.
But it's like this pop-up book about the Babadook, and it's this shadowy figure.
Once you see it, you can't forget it, and it's never going to leave your mind, and good luck sleeping, and once it's there, you're never going to get rid of it. And part of my biggest issue with this movie was, and why I wasn't able to find it as effective as maybe some other people would, I thought the thing looked stupid.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I wasn't. The design, it was kind of comical to me, and I was never able to be. It just every time I saw it, I was just kind of but it is effective. I can see why people like it. It is effectively made. It's got a nice kind of. I think some of the best horror is also. Sort of like I guess, what is the word, like an allegory for other things that are going on in life. And this is, kind of the idea of these parents that just single parents or mothers that just kind of snap and hurt their children for unexplainable reasons, and just kind of tries to explain it in a way. It's just, it has an interesting ending. I'll say that. I kind of wasn't nuts about the way that it ended. I talked to a friend who loved the movie, and that was one of their favorite parts about it.
Really?
Yep.
I'll get to my opinion on this in a second.
Okay. But overall, I don't know. I was amped up to watch this, and as it went along, I just got less and less interested in what I was seeing. So
that's fair.
I'm happy that I saw it because it was a movie I'd been wondering about. But I would give it, for me, a non-recommendation.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. I don't love this movie.
Okay.
I dig it. I think it's fine. It's certainly not my favorite horror film of the last decade or whatever some of these places are calling it. I think it's good. The kid for the first half hour is so grating, and he's too much. They level him out, and again, I don't want to get too much in the really spoiler territory, but he levels out probably about halfway through, third of the way through, somewhere in there. But to start off, he's just, I think, way too much, and I hate the ending.
Okay, I thought it was stupid.
You're talking about the ending or the coda ending?
Yeah, what happens.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's stupid. I don't like it.
Okay.
But yeah, I'm kind of with you. When I saw it, it definitely had the hype of all the oh my gosh, this is the greatest horror movie oh, this is the best thing in years, and blah 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 blah. And I was like, okay, it's fine. I kind of dug the design of the Babadook and stuff. I think
it just even some of the way that part of the thing is the thing comes in and it goes ba 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 dook, and yeah, it's just like there's one part and it comes in the room and she's hiding under the covers and it should be super suspenseful, and the thing's just ba 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 dook, and I'm just I couldn't get past also it's just such a ridiculous name. It's kind of I don't know, nothing about it was, just so much of it took me out of it.
Okay.
There is effective filmmaking in it, for sure. She's a talented filmmaker.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I'm more curious to see what's next and where she goes from here.
100%.
And I remember this came out, and I was talking to a good friend of mine about it, and he kind of put it, I think really the best way I've heard it is, it's the same thing that happens whenever there's a good horror movie that comes out, is everybody jumps on it and builds it up to this point where it's, oh my god, this is the greatest horror film forever. The director of The Exorcist says it's the scariest thing he's ever seen, and blah blah blah, because he's the guy to go off of for scary movies. And then it's not that. Like, they just build it up to this point that it could never live up in these expectations that it could never live up to.
It does happen frequently. It happens to 1 or 2 horror movies a year, and I think a lot of it is because we get so many poorly made movies in that genre. Another movie that got a very similar critical response that I also haven't seen is It Follows.
Yeah, I feel similar to that I do with Babadook, where I like it. I think the score and it's great, but I'm not head over heels for it. Like, I don't think it's the greatest thing.
It's another one that I hope to see soon. But
yeah,
check it out. I guess if you're a fan of horror, you've probably already seen it.
I think it's worth seeing. I know you gave it a non-recommendation, but it is streaming on Netflix. And then my movie, you didn't give me a movie yet.
No, I didn't give you a movie.
Okay, that's right. Maybe I didn't do that.
So I brought this up a while back, and I believe that you had not seen it. I hope you haven't seen it. If you hadn't, you're just going to watch it again. I've actually brought him up when we were talking about the news this week. There's an acclaimed author, Neil Gaiman, or Gaiman, however you say his name, and one of the books that became a movie of his is Stardust. Have you seen Stardust?
I've not seen Stardust.
All right, so Stardust is from director Matthew Vaughn, who did X-Men First Class. He did Kingsman. He did Layer Cake. So he did an adaptation of the book, and it's a fantasy film in the vein of something that it was heavily compared to is actually a movie that I fucking hate, which is The Princess Bride.
Really, you hate it?
I hate Princess Bride.
Okay. I don't love it. You don't hear many people who hate it.
Yeah, and so this is a movie from just a few years back. It stars Charlie Cox, who is now Daredevil, and it has an all-star cast: De Niro, Michelle Pfeiffer, and a bunch of other people that you'll definitely recognize as you watch it. So I'll be interested to see what you think of it.
Okay.
For sure.
Sorry, I had to drink my beer. We are over beer. Gotta keep drinking the beer. So the movie, I'm gonna get away from the horror genre. We had our month of horror. We had our October. I eventually come back well before October.
You had me watch Thanksgiving. Eli Ross Thanksgiving.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna have you watch Before I Disappear.
I don't know what that is.
Okay. Have you heard of the short film Curfew? Won the Oscar 3 years ago?
I probably saw it back then, but no.
Okay. It's the feature film version of the short film Curfew. Won the Oscar for Best Short.
Okay.
From Sean Christensen, writer, director, star of it. It's got... what's her name? I'm blanking on her name, but it's the girl who does... I recall the girl who does the voice of Dora the Explorer in it.
Okay.
Fatima, I can't remember. I'm going to butcher her name. You know
that is something like that. Yeah.
Okay. Really, really good. The short, I don't want to go again in too much into it, but the short film's kind of this brother who's trying to sort of make amends with his sister and gets kind of caught up babysitting her daughter for like the night. It's sort of, where their night takes it and kind of where his mental state is and stuff like that.
And then the killer comes in.
Yeah, and then they all just get slaughtered and it's just a bloodbath. Okay. But no.
Before I Disappear.
Before I Disappear. Played before the film festival. 2 years, not this 2015, 2014. I think it's great. If you haven't seen the short film Curfew, definitely check it out. I think it's on Hulu maybe or something.
Okay.
It's definitely out there. But Before I Disappear is the feature film version that's playing on Netflix right now.
All right. I'll check out Before. So next week we'll be back. We'll talk about Stardust, Before I Disappear. Watch them this week as well, so you can follow along. And if you have any Netflix options for us,
let us know. You can obviously tweet at us. I'm at Rich Belson.
I'm at Stonks.
You can tweet at the channel for OABeer_official. You can also email us at overabeerofficial@gmail.com. We're on Facebook, of course, at facebook.com/overabeer. And again, at the recording of this episode, we just passed 100 likes. So thank you guys for supporting us thus far. We hope to keep bringing you content that you like. And of course, keep letting us know if there's stuff you want us to cover, stuff you want us to talk about, stuff you want us to stream. Again, we don't have a YouTube URL, a personalized YouTube URL quite yet because we don't have 500 subscribers, but you can help us there. Like this video, share it with your friends, and subscribe to us. As soon as we hit 500 subscribers, we can have youtube.com/overabeer. But until then, you can find us on Facebook at facebook.com/overabeer. Anything else you want to cover for today?
I think that's going to do it this week for Pitch It, Stream It, Play It.
All right, great.
But
we will see you guys next time.